Hi there, I'm Zoreen and I'm here today with Daniel aka Berzerk, who is a pro DOA player. Daniel, welcome. Hello. And
Nice to be here.
Can you tell us about your history with DOA as a player and an organiser?
Yeah, I've been playing Dead or Alive since Dead or Alive 2 on the Dreamcast, a little bit of DOA 1, and been a big fan of the game since then. For a while there with Dead or Alive 4, when there were a lot of leagues and tournaments, I got to travel overseas and get paid to play, so that was pretty good fun. And since then I've also been an organiser in the fighting game scene, playing Street Fighter, Virtual Fighter, Soul Calibur, lots of games, and helping to organise big events and small events, stuff like Battle Arena Melbourne or EB Expo. I like to get involved.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. And you'll be showing us some tips and tricks to do with Dead or Alive 5.
Great.
So you've recommended some characters which are better for new beginners to start with.
Yep.
Who have you recommended and why?
Alright, well with all fighting games there's different types of play styles. So you've got strikers, grapplers, hold specialists. Now, in Dead Away you've got a group of characters who are all ninjas. It's made by Team Ninja and they have cool ninja characters, including Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. He's a hybrid striker grappler because he has some cool throws, but most of the ninjas are strikers, so it's all about hitting the opponent, stunning them, launching them. So if I was to do, for instance with Hayabusa, I could stun you and knock you against the wall. I could stun you, launch you, and do a couple of hits. So the idea with what I'm doing here is to get you up in the air where I can get 3 hits and knock you into the wall. So Hayabusa has a couple of really good launches. I'll start with that move I was doing, which is the rising punch. It is, I actually had a Street Fighter player ask me when they first tried Dead or Alive recently, okay, show me the uppercut. And here it is. It's a quarter circle forward, just like a fireball, and punch. And he knocks him into the air. Doesn't matter whether you're stunned or a normal hit, I get a nice launcher out of it and I can hit you. So I would recommend starting off with that, and as you can see, Hayabusa has a few good strike combos, which is just punch, 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 or punch, punch, back punch, punch, and you get a string out of it. And there you go. So that's a good place to start, is learn what your launches are and go through the move list in training, which the game gives you the option to just teach you all the moves. Once you know a few things, this is the kind of stuff to look for. What are your launches and how much damage can I get if I do my favourite combo? So another class of characters are the grapplers, and in Dead or Alive 4 the grapplers weren't as good because it was a very striker-oriented game, but now they're really fantastic. You can play a really different style of game with the grapplers. So we've got Bass on the left and Bayman on the right. They're both good grapplers. They've got offensive holds, which are moves that go through attacks. There's one for Bass. And normal throws, they have the greatest variety of throws. So there's one of Bass's big carry throw, does huge damage, especially if the other person's countering, does more damage. And they have ground throws, so I'll give you an example. If I knock you down, I can then pick you up again, and I get a guaranteed hit there. So I can either do a guaranteed hit, put you in a combo and make you want to block or get out of it. So I might be doing something like this. Knock you down, pick you up again, and then I start it and keep you going. Or I can do that knockdown, pick you up, and because you've gotten used to all of that punishment, I'll throw you instead. So that's the basic mind game with a grappler. You want to deal out enough striking and get on an advantage so that you can throw them. Make them want to either counter you or block, and as soon as they do that, they're yours, you grab them. So next up we're talking strikers. These are the characters that are focused almost primarily on hitting the opponent and extending the stun and getting launches and doing damage. So Christy's a good example of this. She's got some really cool fast attacks, so she doesn't do a lot of damage per hit, but because she's so fast, it's really hard to counter them. and then she gets a launcher. So the thing about a striker is you are playing a little bit of a risk because the counter system is there to stop you while you're attacking, but because Christy, for example, is so fast, it's actually harder to predict, and you've got more striking options. So I can dodge, I can get around your strikes, or I can mix it up between high and low, and that's the basics of any 3D fighter. You want to mix up your attacks between low, mid, and high, and that will allow you to fool the opponent and make sure that they're not actually countering you or they're blocking incorrectly. And as a result, you get the wall hits and you get the big damage.
Now, Daniel, you mentioned previously that DOA actually has a triangle system going on, in like that mechanics are based on. Can you explain more detail about what that's about?
Yep. Well, so as a 3D fighter, you've got attacks and you've got throws and you can block. Dead or Alive has a sort of universal system around what beats what. So in Dead or Alive, if you try to throw me while I'm pressing attack, so if you just press throw, there's the throw. Now if you try to do it again while I attack, I'll hit you and I'll stun you. Okay, so because you tried to throw me, the attack will automatically win. So if you suspect, if you've been blocking a lot, or if you're worried about someone coming in and throwing you, you can actually attack out of it and you'll get them. Likewise, if the other person's attacking you a lot, the unique counter system of Dead or Alive is what comes into play. So if you want to do a mid punch hold, which is back and hold, so we practice it by tapping back and hold together, and I'll do a mid punch at you. There you go. That will stop me, and that will stop some parts of combos, unless I've done a special stun, which is more of an advanced thing. But the basic idea is that strikes will beat throws, counter holds will beat strikes, but if you start countering at me all the time, I can throw you. So do those mid holds again. High counter throw, I did more damage.
Oh, I see. So, okay,
Yep.
I understand.
So those are the three basics.
And strikes beat throws.
And strike beat throw. So I try to throw you, you just keep tapping it. There you go. And you smacked me out of my throw.
Ooh.
And of course you've also got blocking. Blocking's good. And finally they've added a new element, which is sidestep. So I just stepped out of the way and hit you. And that's a new thing for Dead or Alive 5. So in addition to the triangle system and understanding when you should hold, throw and strike and block, there's also two new mechanics in the game. One is called critical burst, which is a way to get around that hold strike mind game. If you do a critical burst, it's a normal move, but if you do it when they're already stunned, it'll stun them really badly and they won't be able to move anymore. They won't be able to hold, and that's your opportunity to do a launcher, or another new move called a power blow, which we've set up here. And the power blow is executed differently for each character, but usually it's like back, punch and kick together. So I'll do Li Fang's. And there you go. And that grey section is where you can actually move the camera, and on stages where there's a big danger zone, you can push them into it.
Oh, okay.
Like on the clown stage, you can put them in the clown's mouth and he gets cannonballed out. Or knocked off the stage, that sort of thing. And that's where the explosions come from. But first you want to do, if you want to combo it reliably, because it's actually easy to see a power blow coming, you want to do your critical burst. So I'm going to do one with Li Fang on Helena. So to do a critical burst, you first need to stun them a couple of times until they are almost over the stun threshold where they'll just fall over. So with Li Fang, I can do that by 1, 2, 3, critical stun went red, and the burst came through. I can combo that, if we want to move to the middle of the stage again, with a power blow. So there we go, I comboed it in. And that's the only way you can combo power blows. So you need to learn your critical bursts, and that's different for every character, so that's one of the slightly more advanced things, is you learn your character, you'll know when you can do it, and then if you're under 50% life, you can do much more damage off a power blow if you've critical bursted them first.
Now, we've talked about all the different types of characters and moves that they have. Can you tell us, Daniel, who is the best at taunting?
Oh, well, it can only be Zach. He has the most taunts. He can even taunt in the middle of a combo. But yeah, check these out. He's got the Zach Beam. He's got all the normal things where he's giving him a bit of crap. And when he's feeling a bit sad, he can do all sorts of swaying motions, and his best dance move of all is, of course, the Smooth Criminal. There you go.
Well, thank you for joining us and teaching us about Dead or Alive 5, Daniel.
It's great fun.
It was a pleasure having you. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them in the comments box below.